This man texted me. He told me that he saw me. He told me that now he knows where I live. And I was like crying. I was really, really crying hard because hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Liallure here, and I'm back at it again with another video. If you are new to my channel, hello, hi, my name is Leah and I am your neighborhood entertainer. Your entertainer, period. Make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to comment and subscribe on your way out. You know, no pressure, but it's free. Subscribing is free. Help your girl out, you know. If you are a returning subscriber, hey girl, hey, thank you so much for supporting me and watching all of my videos. I love y'all so much. I really rock with y'all, okay? And that's just the truth. By the time you're watching this video, I have hit 300 subs, and for that I say thank you so much. Like, y'all understand what this means to me? Like, I started YouTube and I didn't know people was gonna like my content. I just wanted to be a clown on the internet, you feel me? But to know that people like me, like, that's actually that's a humbling feeling, because I tell these stories to, you know, make people laugh, but also to tell like life lessons, because some of this stuff, like, I know younger people watch my channel and I really want y'all to learn from my mistakes, because I don't believe that you have to make your own mistakes in order to learn. Like, sometimes you gotta learn from somebody else's, you feel me? And y'all can learn from mine. So with that being said, today's video is of course a story time, and it is a good one, y'all. I didn't know if I was gonna tell this, because again, I was embarrassed. I was very embarrassed at the decisions that I made when I was younger. But you know what, I always say that everything in my life happened for a reason, and this reason perhaps is to just tell y'all, you know, maybe you'll laugh, maybe you'll learn, maybe you'll relate, who knows. So if you want to know the story about how a guy stalked me, stick around. Okay guys, so the story begins. Chapter 1.
I just want to say really quickly that I didn't notice that there was something in my nose, and honestly, by the time I started editing this had been the third time, you know, I recorded this video, and I wasn't going to record it again. So enjoy.
The story begins when I was in high school. I want to say I was in my senior year of high school, right? When I was in my senior year, there was a period of time where I wasn't dating anyone. I was really the type of person that was always talking to someone. You know, half the time it wouldn't really, like, it would be my boyfriend, but it wasn't really my boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? Because now that I'm older and I have a better understanding of relationships, like, I don't consider talking to someone dating someone, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not taking me out, you're not courting me, you're not showing me that this could be a long-term thing. I'm not dating you. Like, we just talking, we kicking it. That's it. So when I was in high school, I was always talking to someone, but there was a point where I wasn't really talking to anyone. I don't remember why. Perhaps I was just tired and bored, because I do get tired of the men's quite easily, I'm not gonna lie. So maybe I was just tired of talking to guys. Anyway, I had a friend, we're gonna call her, damn, now I'm really bad at these names. We're gonna call her Juvia, because there's a Juvia's Place lipstick on my dresser. So anyway, so I had a friend, her name was Juvia, and Juvia, one day we were in the gym, because I was always in the gym. Even when it wasn't my gym period, I remember I was always in the gym, sitting on the sidelines, not doing a thing. Anyway, so Juvia's sitting next to me and we're talking, you know, kicking it as usual. And so she tells me that lately she's been on this website called Tag. So I asked her what it's about, like, what's going on. She basically tells me it's like MySpace, but like, really people just be talking to other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, trying to, like, you know, meet somebody and stuff like that. So she's like, yeah, you should, like, sign up. Like, it don't have to be anything serious. You could just, you know, talk to people in your spare time. Maybe you could talk to someone who will keep you interested or entertained, whatever. So I'm like, all right, well, I mean, I'm not doing nothing else, I might as well, right? So later on that day, I go home and I sign on to Tag. I put a little cute, you know, profile picture and all of that. I was a little cute thing, you know what I'm saying? I had the bang back then, because that's all I wanted for my 16th birthday. I remember when I was 16, I got a bang because my forehead is huge. But that's neither here nor there. yeah, so I, you know, uploaded a cute, like, decent, wholesome picture of myself. And a few hours later, like, I started getting messages and requests and stuff like that. They were mostly from guys, which is expected. When I signed on to tag, I didn't expect to find anyone interesting or anyone who wasn't really, how do I say this, a loser. Just I said what I said. Most of the guys that I ended up talking to, whether in a friendship way or like casual, whatever, like, it was always some dumb stuff they were saying. Like, I remember this one guy, he would constantly message me, and he would be like, oh, I could make you happy, I could take you wow, I could take you to get lobster, steak, all of that, baby girl, you ain't never had a man like me. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the gag. The gag is that I don't need a man like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that material stuff, like the stuff that guys think they can get me, that doesn't please me. That doesn't make me happy. That doesn't make me want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, my dad has basically given me everything I ever wanted in my life. And let me tell you one thing. The one thing a man can't dangle over my head is that he did something for me. And that's on period. So one day I'm on tag and I get this message from this guy. I'm like, oh, he's cute, you know what I'm saying? His profile says he's 19, it says he's from Brooklyn. So we start chopping it up. Like, he's talking to me, he's making me laugh and stuff like that. And we are gonna call this guy what are we gonna call him? Why am I so bad at this? We're gonna call him Harlan. I don't know why. Just go with it. I started talking to this guy. His name is Harlan, and Harlan and I were basically talking every day, like literally every day. We were talking on a tag app for, I want to say, maybe about like 3 days consistently before he was like, yo, like, give me your number. So I said, okay. I gave him my number. He calls me on the phone one day, and you know, when you put on that voice when you first start talking to someone, like, if you start talking to somebody online and the first time they call you, you always want to give like your best impression. You always want to give your best like phone voice, you know. You know. But yeah, so I was talking to Harlan. I remember the first time I gave him my phone number, I was talking to him like the whole night. So we were talking, and then after that we were like texting back and forth and stuff like that. So at this point, it's pretty safe to say that Harlan and I are talking. We are talking. Let me say, at this point, it had been like maybe about like 3-4 weeks in, maybe 5. I don't remember the specifics of this, but I do remember it was in the spring of my senior year. So I was just about to go to college, and it was fine. Everything was peaches, creams, and applesauce until shit started getting real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, whoa. I was the first red flag about Harlan was that he would always hide who he was talking to when he was talking to me. Okay, so we would be on the phone when he was in his house, and it was fine because no one would come in. You know, he lived with his parents, so no one would bother him, whatever the case is. As soon as he went outside, whether it was in front of his house or in his neighborhood by the corner store, wherever it was, if somebody was like, hey Harlan, how you, what's up, like chopping it up with him outside, they're like, who you on the phone with, look at you caking, all of that. Like, people used to call it caking back then. So he's like, who you on, like, people would tell him like, who you on the phone with, and he would always say something, but he would never say it's me. One day, this girl was talking to him outside, this lady or whatever. She's like, hey, how you? Like, who you on the phone with? Who you cheesing on the phone with? And he's like, nobody, don't watch that, don't watch that. And I'm like, nobody? He trying to play me? My first reaction was to like calm down and see where the conversation went. So the girl is of course egging it on, and she's like, stop playing. Who you on the phone with? You on the phone with your shorty? You on the phone with your girlfriend? Who's that? Just tell me, stop playing. So he's like, nobody, don't watch that, don't watch that. The second don't watch that is what triggered me. The second don't watch that is what made the gears in my head start turning, you feel me? Like, I started getting mad because this was like the 5th time this happened, you know what I'm saying? Like, granted, all the times before it was short conversations, so I didn't really take it seriously, but the fact that a woman is asking you who you talking to and you like, nobody, she clearly knows you well enough, y'all chopping it up and stuff, like. So I'm on the phone like, what do you mean it's nobody? It's me. You know it's me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Tell that girl it's me. Tell that girl it's your girl on the phone. Tell her it's your girl on the phone. I'm pretty sure this woman can know, like, she could hear me. She could hear me because it was blackened. I was I was wild. Then when he got back to the house, like, we started like arguing and stuff like that because I felt disrespected, as I should, you know what I'm saying? And at that point I was just so irritated with the fact that he kept saying it was no one on the phone, that I was just like, you know what, you don't need to talk to me, don't worry about me, because obviously I'm not a priority for you, that you can't tell people that you on the phone with somebody you care about. So I just stopped talking to him. I want to say that I stopped talking to Harlan for maybe about like 2 days or something like that. And in the time that I stopped talking to him, he was blowing up my phone. He was texting me, he was calling me, talking about, I'm sorry, I miss you, like, I didn't mean it, you know, you my shorty. So at some point I gave in because I did miss him, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is somebody I was talking to all the time. Like, that was my little boo. So I missed him and I forgave him like a dummy. I forgave him and we moved, right? The second red flag about Harlan is one day, right? One day. And let me just say this before I go on with this. Harlan was very, very secretive. Like, there would be a lot of things that he would bring up by accident. You know how sometimes you start to say something, but it's something that you didn't really want to say, but it just comes out, to kind of like backtrack and reel it in? That would happen a lot with me and him. Like, he would start saying something and then he would just stop, you know, as if it didn't happen. And I'd be like, wait, continue your sentence. Like, what do you mean? Or I would ask him a specific question about what it is that he said, and he'd be like, don't worry about it, bro, don't worry about it. Like, you ask so many questions, don't you trust me? Don't you trust me? He will always ask me if I trusted him. So he would always like backtrack. He was very secretive. He wasn't really consistent with anything he said. One night, we're on the phone, per usual, and he asked me, he was like, yo, what should I wear to court? And I'm like, court? Who's going to court? You going to court? Like, I was so confused because he had never brought up the topic of going to court. He never brought up being arrested. He never brought up anything like that. So the fact that now we're chilling in the dead of the night and you're asking me what you should wear to court, I was like, excuse me? I remember specifically telling him, like, what are you talking about? He was like, oh, like, what should I wear to court? He took a pause before he said that because he just realized what he said to me. He was like, yeah, what, like, if you were going to court and you were a guy, what would you wear? So I'm like, wait, first of all, why are you going to court? All right. So he's like, don't worry about that. That's not what I asked you. You always asking questions. And he sounded irritated because it was like, you know, when you don't want to answer a question, or some people don't want to answer a question, they start to get mad. They start to deflect. It was that type of thing. So he's telling me, don't worry about it. It was something petty. It was something small. I just got to go to court, you know, clear my name, da-da-da-da-da. So I'm like asking him more questions, but he wasn't answering. So at some point I was like, whatever. I mean, if it's something small, which it should be, because he's talking to me on the phone. We've been talking consistently for maybe about like 4 weeks now. Like, I'm pretty sure he would have been in jail by now if it was something serious. I never found out what it was, to say the least, you know. And I will say this right now, ladies, if a man tells you he got arrested, if he tells you he's going to court, if he tells you he went to jail, but he won't tell you what it was for, you need to leave. You need to leave, and let me tell you why. I believe that everyone has a past, and I believe that the past is the past, and that a lot of people have the ability to change and rehabilitate themselves, especially when it comes to like prison and stuff like that. But if I am with you and I'm trying to build a relationship with you, we're messing with each other, we're dealing in whatever capacity, and you will not tell me why you went to jail, you hiding something. You hiding something, and you're playing with me. That's not gonna fly. I ignored him and I let it go because I'm a clown, and it just kept getting worse, you know what I'm saying? Like, after the whole like going to court thing, which he never told me the truth about, I just kept talking to him because I was an idiot gal. But you know, we move. The next thing, and possibly the trigger to this entire situation. No, actually it was the trigger to this entire situation. Harlan lied to me about something very, very big. Again, one day we're on the phone. I'm studying for my SAT, and I remember this so specifically. I'm studying for my SAT, and this is the second time I had taken my SAT. And it was a Friday. I was supposed to take my SAT Saturday morning. So I'm studying and I'm reviewing, but I was also on the phone with him. Granted, I I should have been studying and not on the phone, but like I said, that was my boo. Anyway, I'm on the phone with this guy and I'm kind of quiet because I'm doing my thing and he's doing his thing. It's like a comfortable silence. Suddenly he says, babe. I'm like, He goes, I have something to tell you. And I'm like, what now? Because like I told y'all, this guy was very, very secretive. So at this point, it was just like, he was hiding so many things from me that I was just like, well, what is it? What is it? Just speak. Just speak. He's like, wait. Calm down. And he's like trying to calm me down because he could tell I'm already mad. I'm pre-mad. I'm getting ready to be mad. I'm at the starting line of mad. All right, Harlan, what is it? He's like, I lied to you about my age. So I was like, lied to me about your age? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't know how you would react. And I was like, well, before I called the police, because what do you mean you lied to me about your age? I was like, well, are you older than me? Are you younger than me? Like what is it? What is it? You know what he tells me? Harlan opens his mouth and Harlan tells me he is 27. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he's 27. The man is a pedo. I was like, yo, bro, what? Like, I remember I was so baffled and I was so shocked that I was like, I gotta go because I have more studying to do. And I just hung up the phone. I just hung up because at that point, like, I really didn't know what to say. Like, what do you want me to say about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm literally in bed studying for my SAT and you are a grown man. You know what I'm saying? You're a grown man. You know things that I do not know. I don't know anything about student loans, even though I was getting ready to go to college. I don't know anything about health insurance. Like, what do you and I have in common? You know? I was deep in it. I was like, yo, like, this man is almost 30 and I couldn't tell that he was almost 30. I didn't talk to him that night and he was blowing up my phone while I slept. Did not call him back. After my SAT, I collected my phone again and he was blowing up my phone. And so when I got home, I remember like later that night, like right before I went to sleep, I called him and I really had to be like, listen, like, I don't even want to know why you lied to me about your age and something so big. I just need you to stop talking to me. Stop calling me. Stop texting my phone. This can't go any further. I'm not gonna say anything to my parents. I'm not gonna report you. You know what I'm saying? But like, just stop communicating with me because at this point we have nothing in common. You know, you lied. You did what you did, but we're done. But we stopped talking. But like, he would text me here and there just to be like, hey, how are you? Sometimes I would text back and be like, I'm fine. I hope you're doing great. Whatever. We would not even talk for more than like, I want to say like 5 minutes at a time. And when we talked, it was really like acquaintance text messages. How are you? How you're doing? It was dead ass like email speak. You would think this is over. It is not. That is not the case. After me and Harlan had stopped like dating and talking and stuff like that, I started dating someone else, someone that I did start talking to from tag. But the difference between Harlan and this guy was that I had actually met this guy and he was, like he said, 19. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could prove himself. He had the degrees, he had the diplomas to not the degrees. He had like a diploma to prove like what year he graduated and stuff like that. So me and this guy were dating, you know, we were going out and stuff like that. We weren't talking, we were dating. Like, this was my boyfriend. We went out, we were dating, and let's call this guy let's call him Pierre. One day in the summer, because like I said, I was talking to what I call him, Harlan. I was talking to Harlan around the spring semester of my senior year, so summer was approaching. So it's the summer now and I was at a game. I was at a soccer game with my family. So in Brooklyn, I don't even know if they do this anymore, but in Brooklyn there's like this summer series. It's like a soccer series for Caribbean people. It's like called the Caribbean Cup or something like that. So me and my family went. The game was St. Lucia versus St. Vincent or something like that. Or was it Guyana? I know it was a country who had red in their flag. But anyway, I was at that game and I'm like, you know, talking to my boyfriend, and then suddenly I don't hear from my boyfriend for a while, like a really long time. Then I get a text message from this man, my boyfriend, And it was like, yo, are you playing with me? I was like, huh? I literally texted him back and I was like, what are you talking about? Am I playing with you? He was like, because I just got a bunch of messages from this random number talking about how my girl still like them, how my girl still want to be with them, and if it wasn't for the age difference, they would have my girl. And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Because at this point, even though I had told my boyfriend at the time, Pierre, about Harlan, that was the last thing in my head. Like, I didn't think this man was gonna come back to haunt me. I certainly didn't think he was gonna text my boyfriend. So I'm like, just send me the screenshots. What are you talking about? He sends me the screenshots and I was like, yo, that's crazy. That is insane. Let me tell you why. The first reason why that was absolutely absurd, okay, is that he exaggerated what we were talking about. Okay, like I said, all our conversations, if we spoke, it was something very neutral. You know, it wasn't anything sexual, romantic, no, nothing like that. So you're a liar. The second thing is that my boyfriend and our relationship was very, very private. And when I say private, I mean private. Like, literally only my closest friends knew that I had a boyfriend. They knew what he looked like and they knew his first name. Nobody knew nothing about this man. I was heavy on Facebook at this time. We weren't even Facebook friends. We were not Facebook friends. I told Harlan that I had a boyfriend. I didn't tell him his name, his age, where I met him, nothing like that. No information. As far as Harlan knew, this man was a figment of my imagination. Like, no one could track him down, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, how did he get your number? How did he get your number? This is actually mad. Like, now that I think about it, like, this is insane. So I'm texting my boyfriend back and I'm like, yo, like, that's Harlan. That's the guy I was telling you about. So he's like, oh yeah, word. Bet. I text him back and he's like, stop talking to my girl, stop texting me, stop playing with me, because right now you playing with me and I don't play with nobody like that. Like, he was really like being serious and I was like, period. Anyway, so Harlan didn't really text back after that, but another thing to mention is that the number that Harlan was texting my boyfriend on was a text-free number, and I didn't recognize the number, which is another reason I was confused, but it was a text-free number. So you was a weirdo. When I really thought about it, it made sense, because Harlan used to always tell me that if he had went to college, he would go to college for like computer science or something like that, because he was very good with computers. He told me that he was really like a natural with computers and like doing coding and stuff like that. And he actually showed me some of the work that he did, so it makes sense that he was able to find that type of information. Is it ethical? No. Was it moral? No. But it did make sense that he was able to collect that type of information. Harlan was obviously stalking me, and he was also like texting my friends, and it was like, yo bro, I never told you anything about my friends. I told you stuff about my friends, but I literally never gave you their information. So how do you know these people? How do you know these people? Again, Harlan and I didn't have each other on Facebook. My Facebook was actually private. You didn't see my friends. You didn't see any mutuals. You didn't see any posts on my wall, no, nothing like that. How do you know who these people are? Do you hear that? It's the police. It was just like the weirdest thing, and it made me so uncomfortable to know that he was contacting people that I knew. And I was really scared and nervous that he would like contact my parents or my family members, but thankfully he never did. That would have gotten messy. That would have gotten messy. You would think that is the end. The next and the last thing that Harlan did was something very off-putting. One day I was on the train with my friends, and we had just gotten back from going somewhere. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. I think we had came from Queen Center Mall or something like that. I had just came back from somewhere with them, and I live like a few stops before they were gonna get off. So I gathered my things and I was about to get off the train, so I'm hugging them and stuff like that. And before the train pulls off and I have already gotten off and I'm on the platform at my stop, I get a text message. That read, oh, so this is where you live. This is your stop. That's good to know. LOL, I see you still looking good. My heart starts beating, you know what I'm saying? Like, I start to feel my chest tighten. I'm panicking, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting real. Shit is getting real. So I text the person back and I'm like, who is this? Who are you, first of all? And the person goes, LOL, don't worry about it. Like, it said something like, LOL, don't worry about it, but always know that you'll still be my baby, or something like that. And the reason why I know it was Harlan is because the person had said something that triggered me to know it was Harlan, because he had always told me that that's the train that he took, but I never really told him that, like, I lived so close to him. We never had that conversation because, like I said, I never met this man, like, so we never had this conversation. And although I did some clown things, I wasn't a full clown, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have a membership at the circus. Harlan had said something about, like, where he lived. He was like, oh, you live mad close to me, blah blah blah, and you wasn't gonna tell me. That's really crazy. I hope you and your little boyfriend doing okay. And I was literally like freaking out. I remember I had called my boyfriend right away. He was at work. My boyfriend at the time, Pierre, he worked at the airport. He worked at JFK. And I had called him and he was like, hey babe, what's up? You know, I'm at work. What's going on? Because I obviously never called him when he was at work, when I knew he was working. So he knew something was wrong. And I was like, babe, this man texted me. He told me that he saw me. He told me that now he knows where I live. And I was like crying. I was really, really crying hard because it made me nervous and I kind of felt naked in a way, because it was like, well, for one, not only are you a liar and possibly something else is going on that's not, you know, all there with you, but for two, you're texting my loved ones, you're texting my boyfriend, you're texting my friend from random text-free numbers. Don't know how you got this information. And for the third, now you somehow know where I live. That's unsettling. I was just nerve-wracked the entire week. I think I wasn't okay until like 2 weeks later. And the only thing that really calmed me down was the fact that I was going to college. And even then I wasn't really completely comfortable because, like I said, if you could find my people without a trace of information, what makes me think you won't just pull up to Syracuse, right? Like, so I was uncomfortable by that whole situation, but, you know, thank God he never really popped up in my life again. I really thank God for that, because, like, I would have really had to get a restraining order at that point. He never physically tried to, you know, contact me or anything like that. He never tried to, like, get near me, not that I know of anyway. And for all I know, that man could have really been in jail right now, you know. He did have a court date. That was the end of that. I never heard from Harlan again, thank God. And yeah, that is where our story ends, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I could laugh now, but really my life was giving ghetto. It was absolute insanity. Like, Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed my little story time, you know what I'm saying? So it's light for the kids. My next story time will be uploaded when I hit 500 subs. So by the time I upload this, I should be at 300 subs, and my next story time will only be uploaded at 500. So if you want to see another story, because at this point I think you get the sense that my life used to be a mess. It's no longer a mess. I have it together, but it used to be a mess. So if you want to hear those stories, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I mean, you watched the whole video, girl. You might as well just stay, you know. Like, subscribing is free. No pressure, but it's free. Just saying. Yeah, so I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.